afternoon. Would you be seated? Yes, Ms. Moon.
Under what conditions would you consider reopening diplomatic relations with Cuba, and are you considering such a step now?
Well, to take the last part first, we are not considering such a step at the present time. I may say that the United States is interested, and I think that this administration is extremely interested in movements in Latin America or in Central America or the Caribbean which provide a better life for the people. And if American interests may be damaged by those movements or revolutions or whatever term you want to use, we feel that this should be a matter that should be negotiated. What we are, of course, concerned about is when these movements are seized by external forces and directed not to the improving the welfare of the people involved, but towards imposing an ideology which is alien to this hemisphere. That is a matter of concern, particularly when that intervention takes the form of military support, which threatens the security and the peace of the Western Hemisphere. Now, I'm hopeful that governments will be established throughout all of Latin America, and governments which are established will, and I think nearly all of them do, share the same view that we have to provide in this hemisphere a better life for the people involved, that we are interested in that we are concerned about it, that American policy will be directed towards that end. But we are also concerned that in the name of that peaceful revolution, when it's seized by aliens for their purposes, it's very difficult for the United States to carry on happy relations with those countries. So in answer to your question, we have no plan at present to resume diplomatic relations with Cuba because of the factors which are involved on that island.
Secretary Salinger indicated today there might be a need for a tightening of information on national security. Doesn't the policy of deterrence require that the enemy have knowledge of our strength and the ability of our intentions, the ability to carry them out, and wouldn't they risk a possible miscalculation by tightening up information?
Well, I think that the enemy is informed of our strength. I think Mr. Salinger, in his statement today at lunch, indicated his judgment based on his experience so far that there had been very ample information given so that the enemy can make a determination as to our strength. I am anxious that we have a maximum flow of information, but there quite obviously are some matters which involve the security of the United States, and it's a matter on which the press and the executive should attempt to reach a responsible decision. I could not make a prediction about what those matters will be, but I think that all of us here are aware that there are some matters which it would not be well to discuss at particular times, so that we'll just have to wait and try to work together and see if we can provide as much information as we can within the limits of national security. I do not believe that the stamp national security should be put on mistakes of the administration which do not involve the national security. And this administration would welcome any time that any member of the press feels that we are artificially invoking that cover. But I must say that I do not hold the view that all matters and all information which is available to the executive should be made available at all times, and I don't think any member of the press. So it's a question of trying to work out a solution to a sensitive matter.
President, your inaugural address was unusual in that you dealt only with America's position in the world. Why, Mr. President, did you limit yourself to this global theme?
Well, because the issue of war and peace is involved, and the survival of perhaps the planet, possibly our system, and therefore this is a matter of primary concern to the people of the United States and the people of the world. Secondly, I represent a new administration. I think the views of this administration are quite well known to the American people and will become better known in the next month. I think that we are new, however, as far on the world scene, and therefore I felt that there would be some use in informing countries around the world of our general view on the questions which face the world and divide the world.
Mr. President.
Yeah?
Mr. President, you have spoken of the situation where there are crises in the world now. One of these places is Laos. Do you have any hope that a political settlement can be negotiated there?
Well, as you know, the British government has presented to the Soviet Union, and to the best of my information, an answer has not been received by the British of a proposal to reestablish the International Control Commission. That we ought to know shortly whether there's any hope that that commission can be reestablished. As to the general view on Laos, this matter is of great concern to us. The United States is anxious that there be established in Laos a peaceful country, an independent country, not dominated by either side, but concerned with the life of the people within the country. We are anxious that that situation come forward, and the United States is using its influence to see if that independent country, peaceful country, uncommitted country, can be established under the present very difficult circumstances. Thank you. No,